This is an emergency live, everybody. I'm out of words. I don't know what to say. I'm shocked. The only thing right now that is in my hands is to listen to PBD, Who to Marry and How to Marry. If you find value out of this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share.
And so the question was asked, Patrick, what's the one thing, the most important thing you would want to teach your kids? And for the last 15 years, I've been talking about this. And I said, the number one thing, the most important thing anybody can teach their kids, number one, I don't think anything's above this. To me, it's how to process issues. And so I said in that video, it's very important for you to look at life as in solve for X. Everything you got to look at as in, I want to solve for X. And today, the X is marriage, how to get married. So I have 3 pages of notes. Somebody asked me, Pat, I'm young, I want to get married. How do I get married properly? Can you give me some feedback? Can you do a video on this? And I have a large agency that I run with 2,200 licensed agents in 30 some states. And we deal with a lot of husbands, singles, lots of people that are in this business who run their businesses as a family. So it's a very important subject to address. And so I'm going to go through a lot of notes, but before I get into this, let me preface something here. No matter what I say, in this video, you may agree or disagree with. There's a couple things I want you to keep in mind. One, I have seen people get married the right way, which means a Christian marries a Christian, they save themselves, everything good, doesn't work out, they get a divorce. I've seen a Muslim marry a Muslim, and it doesn't work out. I've seen people do everything the right way, and they don't kiss or do anything till they get married. 5 years later, it doesn't work out. I've seen people who do it completely wrong and it works out. They're married 10, 20, 30 years. So no matter what I'm telling you, everything I'm telling you is about odds. To me, life is all about odds. You have a lesser chance of crashing if you're going 50 miles an hour in a 50-mile-an-hour area than you go 100 miles an hour. It's odds. It's purely odds. Everything in life is odds. And what I hopefully, by me sharing with you what some of the things I've done over the years, is going to hopefully help you increase the odds of it working out, or even asking yourself, maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I shouldn't get married. Maybe I should stay single. So I am definitely looking forward to the dialogue and the questions on the bottom. But I think as an entrepreneur, if you're planning on building a big empire for yourself, how you marry somebody and who you marry will be very, very important, very critical in your.
PBD on this clip is talking about who to marry and how to marry. And one of the key points that he's saying, most marriages fail. We're in our current state whereby a lot of divorces are happening. You find people marrying each other. Years into the marriage, there is a breakup. Muslim marries a Muslim, breakup. Pagan marries a pagan, breakup. Muslim marries a Christian, breakup. Muslim marries a Hindu, breakup. Why? Let's listen and dive into the video. Further understanding.
Your success. So if you're watching this and you're saying, I'm already married, what if you're going to say some stuff and I'm not happy? What if some of the stuff I did completely wrong? It doesn't matter. Adjust, improve now based on what you're hearing, and then go based on that and make it work. So let's get right into it. So marriage, first of all, why even get married? So what is the purpose of getting married? Let's process this. What is the purpose of getting married? Do we get married because everyone's getting married? Do we get married because you know how married people like to recruit other people to get married? I'm come from the school of thought of take your time. And I am married. I have kids. I'm happily married currently. Could turn any time. Life changes. Strange things happen. But currently right now, I'm happily married. And, but what am I getting married for? Because all married men, they're trying to tell me you should.
A lot of people get married. Some is because they are getting old, now their parents are asking them, when will you get out of this place? When will you go and find a partner? Especially females. You find a woman is 30, still living with her parents. She's been asked, why are you still here? or deep down she's asking herself, when am I gonna get the hell out of my parents' house or get married? All my friends are married. So some will marry just because they think that they're going to expire, in quote. Others marry because their friends marry. Others marry because they are gonna have a child together. So the best decision is for them to carry out the mantle of raising the child together. So that's why they get married. Others get married to protect their wealth, especially the rich. This happens mostly between the Indian families. You find that the rich marry the rich so as to preserve the wealth of the family. Many people marry for different reasons. Let's listen as to why do people get married.
Should get married because it's so great and ta 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 ta. So in our church, my mother keeps telling me that you got to get married because you're 32 years old and you're from Ukraine, and how come you're not getting married? I want some kids, and you're not married yet, right? Hence our friend you was behind the camera laughing right now, So you may be saying, well, my dad keeps pressuring me. Hey, it's time to get married. Somebody told me if you're 28 and not married, I had a mentor of mine said, if you're 28 and not married, you're a menace to society. Great man, happily married. One of the best examples of a man I saw in marriage and family, and I really admired that part of him on what he did. But menace to society. So what do you do with all these things that you hear about yourself, right? So for me, let's take it back and ask the question, what's the purpose of getting married? You want to get married because you want to have kids? Then it makes sense to get married. Does your church, your commitment to your faith, if you're a church-going person and your faith tells you how to get married, then have kids, and maybe you want to follow and be committed to your faith, then the purpose of you getting married is aligned with your faith, right? You want to get married because you want to have a partner.
Why do people get married? Let me put that question on the chat.
You want to have a lifelong partner, then maybe it makes sense to get married. You want to get married to, tax purposes. I mean, there's so many other things. What is the purpose of you wanting to get married? First, you got to ask yourself the question. The next thing, is there really a perfect timing on when to get married? A lot of people ask, so when is a good time to get married? Should I get married before 30? Should I get married at 32? Should I wait till I have the money? Should I wait to do this? When is the perfect time to get married? And we're going to cover some of that stuff here as well. Because I think, to me, the most important thing is this. Here's the most important thing. Most people don't have any clue on what they're looking for before they get married, especially men over women. Women typically know what they want. Women typically, when they're younger, they like men with the abs, good looking, muscles, all that other stuff. And that's important. As they age and they have jobs and they realize life is interesting, costly, expensive, security is important. They want a strong person. Then they said, now the things that I'm looking for have slightly changed. I'm looking for a man that's going to take care of security, et cetera, et cetera. If that's the role she wants to play, she may not want to play that role, but that's the odds on what you're looking at. That may be the case. So I would rather have you, if you're not married yet, I would rather have you take the moment as you're watching this video saying, I think now I am asking myself what I really want. Because the moment you get clear on what you're looking for, everything else is easy. Simple like business. Like most people want to go out there and make a sale or sell their software to somebody or their product or something to somebody, but they don't even know what their ideal client looks like. How are you going to find and sell something if you don't even know what your ideal client looks like? You got to first know your ideal client. We're going to get that done here today as we talk through it. So benefits of getting married. What are the benefits of getting married? First of all, you have the benefits of talking to somebody. You have the benefits of establishing a family with somebody, a vested, deep-rooted relationship, a friend for the rest of your life that knows pretty much everything about you, your flaws, your insecurities, your weaknesses, your fears, your joys, your irks, all this other stuff. There is that relationship that's being built. You got somebody to go through for second opinion on issues in business and life and everything. You're building and raising kids together, and you kind of see the dynamics of two different human beings that's being taught a gentle and a stronger side, and raising kids with certain set of standards, and that the blood is going to continue because there's someone that you're going to be able to live your life through with your kids, et cetera, et cetera. Increased earning power is also beneficial. Family, there's two earning power. Help someone to help you. One day we're all going to be 65, 75 years old, and you're not going to stay 25 or 35 forever. It's good to have somebody as you age. When you look at your family and other people, it's beneficial when there's somebody around that's helping you out. Companionship, someone to be there, and there's obviously many other benefits that come with that. Now, benefits of staying single: fewer responsibilities. You probably don't have as many gray hair that comes. My gray hair came, I'm not kidding with you, when I got married and started having kids, and we gave birth to a company called PHP. This gray hair started showing up. I never had gray hair. So now when I shave, gray hair comes out of here. So there are a lot of, when you're single, you don't have those things. You're worried about one person. You're not necessarily having to support anybody else. So less pressure, less responsibility, less things to be worried about. You can go and date and do whatever you want to do. Girls, boys, it doesn't matter. You're not fully married to somebody or given a ring to somebody. So you're still a free agent. You're not really doing anything wrong. Your conscience doesn't feel bad if you're talking to a girl here and a girl here and a girl there or a guy. It just, you have none of that, right? Now, a lot of single guys, they'll come up to me and they'll say, but Pat, you don't understand, man, this thing's getting old and blah, blah, blah. For me, the single life got old pretty quickly. Maybe because I started earlier, I don't know. But the single life got done pretty quickly because it's easy, it's boring. It's like the same thing. I mean, there isn't anything to me that was...
In this facility, we can recycle every part that make up the beverage carton. The paper fibers are made into napkins, toilet paper, kitchen rolls. Polyethylene and aluminium stay together, and we call it polyol. These polyol granules goes to other companies to be transformed into new pallets.
This pallet
a challenge. It was fun. It was great, but it's a short lifespan. Eventually, you kind of get bored of doing that. You go into an empty apartment when you're single, table for one when you go to restaurants, or table for two, but it's a different person every time. Okay, cool. So there's not really any deep rooted relationships. So much effort placed on meeting new people and going to this place, buying a drink and doing this. It's just you're fishing forever versus trying to build a massive legacy for yourself when you're staying single. Now, again, I support staying single as well, but it's about what you're really looking for. So what do people marry for? Let's talk about what do people marry for. Okay, I mean, people say, I'm getting married because, man, the sex is amazing. I mean, you have no idea how amazing she's in bed. I mean, the other day, we were doing this one thing, and honestly, I felt like we could go into the adult entertainment business because it was ridiculous what was going on in the bedroom. We broke the bed, we got complaints, and I got evicted all at the same time. And guess what? The alarm went off of the cars parked outside, man, and the windows were closed. She screams that loud? No, me! I was screaming, bro. It was amazing. It was ecstatic. Holy moly. Okay, so this guy, you're not necessarily trying to marry somebody. You're trying to start an adult entertainment business. Or a girl maybe would go, oh my God, you don't understand this guy. He was just insane, man. I feel like this was who is this guy? It's like Zeus showed up out of nowhere. He had this it was oh my gosh, you should have been there, and all these stories. I'm sure girls gossip and they tell the stories, and sex was amazing. I love him. I love him so much. He made me cry in the middle of it. I mean, these stories I hear sometimes. I'm not in Mario's cracking up over this. Like, you don't understand in the middle of it. I had tears coming down my eyes. I'm like, okay, all right. Getting married for that purpose. Another reason why sometimes people get married is the only person they've ever had sex with. So it's kind of like, it's what I'm supposed to do. It's the only person. So he took mine away and she took, so this is it, so I have to, because I give my innocence to him, and I'm kind of, this is what I got to do. Okay, another one is, oh my God, he's so sexy. He's so good looking. Did you see him in that suit? Did you see him in the shirt he got on? He's so good looking, man. I just look at him wearing that Hawaii shirt, Mario's got this shirt on today that really has the entire staff concerned. But he looks so good. Oh, she's so sexy. Did you see her calves? Let me tell you her calves. But Mario, let's show you her most incredibly ludicrous shirt I've ever seen in my life. Um, your wife may leave you over that shirt. I'm just letting you know. So, but people may say things like, he's so good looking. Oh, her legs. Oh, her legs. You should see her legs. Well, her neck is just phenomenal. All this stuff with looks. Okay. So I want to get married to this guy because he's good looking. Oh, he makes so much money. He's so rich. She comes from money. She comes from a wealthy family. You know what her last name is? What's her last name? Her last name is Kennedy. No way. Yeah, she's related, man. She's got a Kennedy last name. What's her last name? Her last name is Clinton. She's related to the Clintons. All this stuff that you hear about, right? I mean, I'm gonna get money, lots of money, so I can go and be taken care of. I mean, really, honestly, reputation. I'm getting married for reputation. Career. He's got this. Or some people expect this Notebook type of a story. No, you don't understand. It's like you don't know what type of a love story we have because you guys don't have our type of a love. So how would you ever understand our love story? It's tough because, Patrick, I'm telling you, you don't really know love like we know love. I mean, I look at him and I feel his spirit. When I look at him, I just know we're like Notebook, movie story. And then there's this expectation of a Notebook type of a movie, right? You're going to get married and, you're going to run in the middle of the wedding. It's going to start raining and you're going, and, she picks, or like a Dirty Dancing type of thing. I had the time of my life. She runs, you pick her up perfectly and turn, and then Patrick Swayze, you come in, you sing to her, she's like the wind. No one puts baby in the corner. All this kind of mess that you hear about Titanic, kind of all this stuff. So that's all great, because when you talk to somebody who's been married for a while, they'll typically give you that smirk and the laugh, and like, oh, you know what, you guys are so this. But look, that's some of the reasons why people get married. For me, I can tell you a few things. When I think about marriage, I can tell you a few things. Like the first thing I would tell you from my end is who you decide to get married is so important. It's 10 times more important than you think it is, who you decide to get married. But also at the same time, you got to be clear on what you're looking for. In my opinion, the one thing I'd always ask people is, look, have 3 non-negotiables. What are your 3 non-negotiables? What are the 3 things you are not willing to negotiate with anybody, even if it's Brad Pitt you're getting married or Rachel McAdams? What are your 3 non-negotiables? What are they? What are 3 things that I'm talking to you, not people around you. This is not something you talk to your mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin. This is you and I talking. What are your 3 non-negotiables? What is it? Is one, I can't marry somebody that's been married before, or you don't care? Is one, they can't have any kids from prior marriages, or you don't care? Is one, they need to have a career? Is one, they have to have a bachelor's degree? That may be your standard. That's totally fine. It's got to be important to you and not to anybody else. Is one, they got to be a similar faith as you. One, they don't need to have a faith because you don't like people who are religious because it's, you're atheist. You want them to. It doesn't matter. What are your non-negotiables? Because here's the one thing. You can't force a person to love you, and you can't force yourself to love somebody. You can't. People have tried so many times. It's not possible. I had a guy the other day I was talking to, a very good friend of mine, and he was telling me, man, how is it possible for this girl to not like me, right? Good friend of mine, and so
All this while I've been listening to Patrick with David. He's talking about who to marry and when to marry. He's left me with a task. The task is to go to pbd.com. There, he has 50 questions to ask before getting married. So I'm gonna look up to that, see what I can get from that. because I believe even if the questions want to be of that value to me, at least I would have learned something. So I'm gonna jump off this live. I'm gonna jump off this live, see what I'm gonna do next, yo. But it is what it is, you know. Anyways, that was a prank, you know. A girl pranked me. Hey, I'm pregnant by your baby, and I'm like, you sure? It is what it is, you know. I was pretty confident, but nah, she's just pranking me, you know. It is what it is, you know. Young kings, young queens, take care, you know. The economy is tough. Make sure that your wealth, your health, and your relationships are intact. Your health, make sure you work out. Your wealth, make sure you do the affirmations, you know. Before you have it, make sure you see it. How do you see it? By visualizing it, you know. You have to see it first and believe your relationships. Be good to yourself, be true to yourself, and be good to good people. I'm gonna jump off this live. Until next time, bye bye. Peace.